What's up, guys, and welcome back to Book of Entertainment. So, General Mkhwanazi was asked a question in regards to the letter that was written by Senzo Mchunu. So, General Mkhwanazi went, even further than Senzo Mchunu himself, and said, we have to find the author of the letter, not just Senzo Mchunu. So, this is the question that was posed to General Mkhwanazi in Parliament.
Any excuse why shouldn't we hold this letter against the minister himself as his own letter?
Well, it is the minister's letter. When I registered a complaint, a criminal complaint, minister is one of the suspects that I'm pursuing in that complaint I have, because he's the author of this chaos.
How far is that case?
The chaos. This is a real chaos.
Yeah. How far is that case where you complained about this?
It's still an investigation. I'm not part of it because I rely on the prosecution in KZN and the team investigating to brief me from time to time. But the progress they shared with me 2 weeks ago, I was quite pleased with the progress that they're making. The minister owns the letter. He signs it. It's his letter. However, if we're to fix the problem, it is my belief that we must go beyond the minister's ownership of the letter. With his signature, it's his letter. That's given. But we need to find out what led into him writing such a letter. When I speak to the chief of staff and he said the letter's been going back and forth, it is against that background that made me to believe that someone crafted the letter for the minister to sign. Yes, obvious. If a person gives a gun to shoot and kill someone and you take that gun and you shoot and kill someone, it's your problem. But we need to find out who actually gave you the gun. So this is basically what I'm trying to communicate, that can we not just leave it with the minister? Let's go beyond, because we're going to miss problems that exist in the organization if we only deal with the outcome. Let's try and fix the real problem.
That is amazing there from General Mkhwanazi, as you heard him saying, you know what, it's not enough just to arrest Senzo Mchunu just for this letter only. So you can see that General Mkhwanazi is revealing that the letter was not written by Senzo Mchunu. Somebody wrote the letter and then gave it to Senzo Mchunu for him to just sign, and forward the letter. So General Mkhwanazi wants the person who is behind that letter, not just Senzo Mchunu, but obviously Senzo is to be arrested for what he did. So you can see that General Mkhwanazi is very, very intelligent here. Now the next question is, who wrote this letter? Who drafted the letter and forwarded it to Senzo Mchunu for him to sign? That's the person that is wanted here. And obviously, the first person that comes to mind would be Ramaphosa, because he is the one who is above the minister, that is Senzo Mchunu. He is the one who appoints Senzo Mchunu and fires him if he wants to. It's not the DP or any other party, in the GNU. It's all Ramaphosa. Now, that one will be a tricky one, is, if you try to go a Ramaphosa, because you might not be able to get him. But what is clear is that Ramaphosa might regret, establishing the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee. So to solve the problem, Ramaphosa should have just fired Senzo Mchunu and we would not have been here. We would not have come here at all if he had just fired him. But anyway, maybe he knew that he was the one who pushed for the letter and was afraid that Senzo Mchunu might come around, and spill the beans. So he tried to establish a commission of inquiry to try maybe pacify the masses, then let Senzo Mchunu to continue with his job. So these are all the scenarios that are there at the moment. But you can see that these commissions of inquiries are a complete disaster for Senzo Mchunu. And on top of that, with Julius Malema asking questions there, Julius Malema is definitely the best out there, and the kind of responses that he is extracting from General Mkhwanazi, they are just unbelievable. Not even the Madlanga Commission investigators could get this information. And at the present moment, from what we have seen, this ad hoc committee, it has far, far outranked the Madlanga Commission. So General Mkhwanazi gave an example of a firearm, to say that if you fire the firearm, right, you're obviously guilty, because you fired the firearm. But we want the person who gave you the firearm. Who is that person? That's the one that we truly want. So, looking at Julius Malema's case, you can see that is not exactly what happened. Because Malema was found guilty, for firing the firearm, but the bodyguard who gave him the firearm was found to be not guilty. So that example of the firearm from General Mkhwanazi was absolutely remarkable, and it's something really, really bold from General Mkhwanazi there. So there is this a slight jab, that Malema might have missed, but I doubt, he didn't miss it. It's like a slight jab, that General Mkhwanazi threw to Julius Malema about the chaos. It was just a gentle reminder, of Malema's utterances, where he was describing Mkhwanazi's press briefing as a mess that he created. So if you still remember some few days back ago, Malema described, what Mkhwanazi did as a mess, and said he must clean up this mess that he created, this chaos. And General Mkhwanazi, was saying, if you were to deal with this chaos, that's how he was now describing it. So he was like throwing it back to Malema, and Malema simply blue-ticked the issue because it flew over the heads of all the other MPs in there, and only Malema got it, and just let it slide. So this is where we are, guys. And as we all know, only one person can give orders to the minister, and General Mkhwanazi is going higher and higher up the food chain, And I remember Natim Tetu at one point where he was saying, this is my job on the line now. He was the Minister of Police, and this is exactly where we are. And we all know who is at the top of the food chain. But will Mkhwanazi be able to grab that man? It's a question for another day. I'll catch you guys on the next one.